Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another video, welcome if you are new. You might recognise this spot because it's exactly where I finished my running every day in September video. That was intense, but I had the best time. But that's not why we're here today. We're here today to end off a year-long-ish Empties journey. I actually need to go get the box, it's in the other room. I have now done 2 Project 10 pans, and for those of you who are like, what the hell is a Project 10 pan? Props fair. It's basically where you have 10 products, usually makeup, that you're trying to use up. I also don't have my rings on. God, I'm really chaotic. Anyway, there's 10 products that you're trying to use up, and you're supposed to be on a no-buy while the project's going on. I tend to be on a, you can buy something but only like one thing at a time, so then it's like a bit more considered. And you have to try and use up the 10 items that you have in your Project 10 pan. I have used many makeup items up now this year. I actually do include 1 skincare and 1 fragrance in there, just because there's like some skincare items I'm struggling to use through, and I had a lot of fragrances that I wanted to use up. But everyone knows by now, you're probably bored of hearing it, I'm moving. So I'm going to end this Project 10 pan today in this flat, finish it off, and then potentially start a new one when we move. But it feels like a good time to finish it off because I've finished so many things in the last 2 months. So I haven't done a check-in now for 2 months because I didn't necessarily have anything to say, but I have finished up so many things and I actually can't wait to show you. So the first one is the Rimmel Multitasker Better Than Filters Primer, Highlighter and Glow Booster in the shade Fairlight. This was brand new. I'm now used to it down about here. I always included a product in here that I usually cycled out after a couple of months, not necessarily because I finished it, but because I just want something different. So I always had a product that was like not designed to be used up. It was designed to like almost like force me to use it and force me to find a way of using it, and if I couldn't, then I get rid of it. And I got this sent by Rimmel. I wasn't really quite sure what to do with it, so I put it in here and I was like, I'm going to use it in Project 10 pounds to try and work out like where this fits in my kind of like makeup routine. And I actually found it so beautiful as almost a little bit like a BB kind of cream. So it is a highlighting primarily primer. You can use it as a highlighter, I actually haven't, and you can use it as a glow booster, i.e. kind of mix it in with your foundation, or just use it to give your skin like a glowy finish. And I actually found just this as a base because it has got some colour to it. It's very similar to the kind of other ones out on the market like Elf and Charlotte Tilbury, and it was just a really pretty base. And then I'd have to use a fair amount of concealer, and then that was my kind of like base routine done. I don't actually have this on today. I'm currently wearing the Dior Backstage foundation, but I have really enjoyed this, and it's going to go back into my makeup collection, but it's something I actually now will love and now will use, which is the ultimate goal. I think this was in Project 10 pan. Like I said, I've used some of these up a little while ago, so I've kind of lost track of what was there and what wasn't. The Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer, which is a hydrating primer. This is completely used up. It was fine. Like, I don't really get what it was doing. Like, it was just like a really nice cream on my face, and I don't necessarily think I will replace it. But yeah, it's finished, it's done. I can now put it with my Empties, which I will show you in a second. I then had the Vive Modern Radiance Concealer in the shade Light. This is my second bottle of this. I love this concealer. It's really kind of like radiant and kind of like hydrating and doesn't look drying, but then it's really high coverage. It's also a huge bottle, and these things last forever, and I felt like I was like on the verge of finishing this one up for a very long time, but it is now finished, which means I only have 1 concealer left, which is obviously quite unusual, but I will obviously buy some more when I move. But yeah, I finished this one up. I still love it. I'm definitely going to repurchase it, but she is finished. The next one I finished, which I actually can't quite believe I managed to do it. This was basically brand new at the beginning of the year, and I have basically been using it every single day for the entire year, and I am actually really enjoying since finishing this, going into my makeup and using other things. But this is the Merit Bronze Balm in the shade Clay, and I have finished it. I even like scraped into the bottle to try and get some product out. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to rush out and rebuy it, because I used it every single day for like 10 months, and so I'm a little bit like bored of it and kind of wanted something different. But it was like a really good bronzing balm stick format product. I did find it quite pale. Like, I did feel like you needed quite a lot of it. I mean, this is the shade Clay. I don't actually know if they do other shades, but yeah, I did enjoy it. But I'm also like quite happy now to be able to use something else, because it was a long time. It was a very, very, very long time, but it's now finished. She is done. Down there she goes. Right, the next thing we had in here was the Vive powder. So this is the Vive Modern Powder Perfector in the shade Light. This is a refillable thing, and I've got 2 containers, because when I first repurchased it I didn't realise they were refillable. So I think gone through 5 or 6 of these over the like lifetime of them being out, and they haven't actually been out that long. I love this powder like a lot. If you want like a really smoothing powder that has like a little bit of colour to it, so it adds like a little bit of coverage, this is amazing. I absolutely love it. And like I say, they are refillable, so you can like pop this metal pouch thing out and buy a new one and put a new one in. Yeah, this will be something I repurchase when I move. Love it. I just wanted it to be finished because I was so worried it was going to get like smashed in the journey between houses. The next thing I have is then a highlighter. So this was in Project 10 Pan because the packaging was broken, and now the packaging is like very broken. As you can see, the lid is no longer attached. But the progress that I have made with this since the beginning of the year has been insane. I mean, that pan is massive, like absolutely massive. Like, I am making serious headway with this highlighter. It probably will re-enter a Project 10 pan when it gets reset, but obviously at the moment I'm just gonna like add this back into my makeup collection and use it in rotation with other highlighters. But it's been a journey. I've made solid progress, but this one actually isn't quite finished. So I then had the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. This has got like the most painfully small amount left. I don't know if you can just about see that. It's got like 1, maybe 2 uses left. So this will be an empty in like 2 days, but it currently isn't quite. But yeah, I had loads of setting sprays, wanted to use some of them up. I now I think have like 3, maybe 2, which is more like a normal, I feel like a more normal amount. This one was good. I liked it a lot. I do think their dupe for the Hydro Grip setting spray is better. So if I was going to repurchase an e.l.f. setting spray, I'd probably repurchase that one, but this one is also lovely. The last makeup product in Project 10 Pan is the Delilah lip line in, I don't know what the shade is, it's like completely rubbed off. I have made some decent progress with this. Like, I actually lost the footage of the old check-in, which is like really annoying. Like, I just don't know where it is, so I can't show you befores and afters, which like agitates me a lot. But you've now got like this much left, and it was definitely like up to here 2 months ago. So I have been making decent progress with this, but this will return to the makeup collection and be used just in rotation with other things. I have really enjoyed it. I think it's a really nice everyday lip colour. It's what's on my lips right now. It's just like a really nice kind of natural pink shade. And then the skincare product that I had in Project 10 Pan is the Glossier Balm.com, and this is in the scent / flavour mango. And I included this in Project 10 Pan because it was basically nearly full, and I'd had it for a while. I was avoiding it because I wasn't sure on the mango flavour, and I was like, I just need to use it up, and then I can go back to Glossier and buy a flavour that I actually would want and would actually enjoy on my lips, because these lip balms are so nice. I'm just not sold / convinced by the mango scent / flavour. So I think there's like 2 uses left, maybe 3, maybe 4. So this will be finished before I move out, but I wanted to get this like filmed before the entire background gets packed away, you know. So this is going to return back in with the other lip balms, of which I only have 2, so there's not many of them. But I've really enjoyed this, and I will definitely repurchase, just not in this scent. And then the very last product in Project 10 Pan I actually haven't really used, and I am going to throw it away after this clip. I've kind of been holding onto it for my Project 10 Pan wrap up, but it is the La Perla fragrance. I don't exactly know what fragrance this is, so as I mentioned, I always have a fragrance in Project 10 Pan just to try and like use through some of the fragrances that I have, and I think it's either gone off or something's happened to it because it doesn't smell very nice. And I definitely remember it smelling better than that, like in the past. Like it almost smells like something is like, I don't know, I wasn't really enjoying wearing it, and then I was like, so then why am I wearing it when I have other fragrances that I do love? So this is gonna get retired because it smells gross. And that is the end of that. And then I have 2 more Empties that are like unlinked to Project 10 Pan, but just I happen to use up in this period. One is a little fragrance. This is, I actually don't know what this fragrance is. It was like a little sample. If anyone knows, tell me, because it actually smelled amazing, and the amount of people that complimented me on this fragrance was insane, and it was really annoying because I couldn't tell you what it was. And it was definitely one of those fragrances that I put on and people kept smelling for like hours afterwards, so the longevity on this fragrance is insane. And if I can work out what it is, I am 100% buying a full bottle, like solid. And then the last thing I finished up was the Hypnose Drama Mascara from Lancome. Like this was fine. I wasn't obsessed, I didn't hate, I kind of felt neutral about it, you know? But it's now finished and it's over. So most products I've actually finished. This isn't Project 10 Pan, let me take that out. So most project products I've finished. I've then got 2 that are like basically finished. So I basically finished 2. One is being thrown out because it smells grim, which means there's only 3 products left. And so it just felt like a really good point to kind of like, oh, the sun's coming out. The lighting has probably now changed. But it just felt like a really good time to kind of reset, stop the challenge here, start the challenge again. Let me see if I can. And I will film like a full makeup empties at the end of the year, which does mean I'm travelling to a new house with rubbish, which I find absolutely hilarious. But inside this LMS gift box, which I got in PR, not last year but the year before, I have been keeping all of my makeup empties. So every single makeup specific product that I've been finishing up throughout this year is currently inside this box. And a lot of it has been due to Project 10 Pan. Some of them I've just used up because I've used them up. And there's like a decent array of things in here. So obviously I will add the like 4, nearly 6 things in here alongside everything else. But there's like actually quite a lot in here. Like there's some foundations, primers, a couple of setting sprays, a couple of setting powders, concealers, brow products. There's like a bronzer, a blush. Like there's quite a lot in here that I finished up. I'm not going to go through it in detail because this isn't like the right time to do that. But that will come at the end of the year. I'm filming either this weekend, like later this weekend, or later in the week, my last empties in this flat. So all the products I've been using up over the last couple of months living here. So that would include probably some other makeup bits, I actually can't remember. But yeah, that will come at the end of the year, which is like so exciting, and I actually can't. The sun is like really out now. Yeah, that's Project 10 Pan over, finished, done, wrapped up, bow tied. I have loved it. I mean, basically what I wanted to do was use up some of the products I'd had for like suspiciously long. Learn to love some of the products I just wasn't working out how to use. So some of the previous things that have been in that category, but there was a lipstick that I couldn't work out whether I liked the colour of, so I put in Project 10 Pan to like force myself to use it. I also had this, which is a eyeliner palette, and I had this in there to try and force myself to use it. I had like a glitter topper, which I like 95% used up, and then it dried out, so that's now gone. That disappeared in the makeup declutter, which if you haven't seen, I will link it down below. There were some other things, I'm sure there were. Oh yeah, this. I included this in Project 10 Pan for a long time. This is the Trish McAvoy Intense Gel Liner in the shade Deep Aubergine, and I loved it, and I've never used this before, and I put it in Project 10 Pan and it became a favourite, and I have been using it quite a lot ever since, as you can probably tell by how short the pencil is. And it is one of those things that I think when I finish it I'm going to go out and repurchase it, which for me to repurchase a kohl eyeliner was like unheard of. So it's done its purpose. I've had the best time, but I'm going to finish this Project 10 Pan here as we finish and round up, well, 3 years in this flat, but like a year of doing this Project 10 Pan in this flat. And I have loved it. I've had the best time. I can't wait for you guys to see the full makeup empties at the end of the year, so subscribe for that, because I film empties usually once every other month. There's a bit of a delay at the moment because of obvious reasons, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed having a little round up and finish of the Project 10 Pan challenge that I've been up to over the last year or so. I also have bought very, very little makeup this year, like very little makeup. So it definitely has achieved what it needs to achieve. It does mean there's quite a lot of things I need to restock on when I move. So there'll also be a makeup haul coming at some point in the next 2 months-ish. So subscribe for that also. And yeah, I really, really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, leave a comment. You know what to do, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!